Peace, peace, peace to the family. We are back. I'm your host, Rebel with a Cause.
What do I kill?
And this is Rebels Roundtable. A little technical.
Television.
You know. But yeah, that's that Rebel Vision Television on YouTube, soon to be all over all platforms. Look out for Think Champs and Queen's Law. We coming deep this year. So all the guards should be able to get in right now. So
all right, cool. Najborn Allah back in the house.
yes, sir. This show brought to y'all by Ari Fonto.
Ari Fronto.
Go get you some. Request it at your local store.
Check out the new KNS Apparel shirt.
Yes, sir.
Made by Elite Wardrobe.
That's for big boys only.
That's right. That's right.
We need more masculine men. We don't even need more masculine men. The word is corrupted. What about just real men? Ain't there a billion-year pattern to men?
Right.
Whether it's the white world or the black world. What is a man? You know what I'm saying? They're feminizing men. This is why that shirt is even relevant.
Right. Doing a good job of it too.
So all the mothers out there, the old school mothers used to say, boy, stop crying like a girl. You see, we ain't played a girl, boy. You can't use God's mathematics against each other. Yes, you can. My son is a boy. When he scrape his knee, I expect you to tell him to get up and keep running. Not, oh, let me kiss it. You know, it ain't bleeding like that, but don't baby my son. My nigga, don't
Right.
treat him like a girl. Remember that? That's off today. What are we doing? What the fuck are we if we're not men and women? There's a pattern. You could do anything after that, to me. Like, if my daughter want to do anything, do it. But you still got to be a woman before you think you could do anything else. How about that? Don't let the world control your reality, my niggas. Are you crazy? These is maniacs.
Right.
Nah, they fucking maniacs. This world's ran by psychosomatic demons. Thank you, baby.
All right. So we got Najborn Allah, man. So they ain't able to join, man.
So still can't get it?
Yeah, he said, I guess he got, you know what I'm saying, something else going on. So he said, can we do it around, we'll have him on Sunday, man.
They ain't want they ain't want the power twins in there at the same time.
Right.
I think that's what that is, because I reset everything.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, it's all good. I could speak to the festival, and then whatever gaps I leave some gaps in there, like Styles and Jadakiss. You know, they left gaps for each other. That's how they was going back and forth, and that's how Cut and I go back and forth. So he is the visionary, to put these things together, and I was one of the chief executors. You see what I'm saying? To make it happen. From one festival to the next. So his vision was to put together a convergence of the political ideology of Pan-Africanism with the revolutionary national cultural aspect of the proper propaganda campaign. So we got a Pan-Africanist ideology, you see what I'm saying? And the implementation of the revolutionary cultural nationalist perspective personified through our arts and our sciences. So our arts and our sciences stem from our ability to be able to take the concepts, the Garvey concepts, the Touré concepts, the Nkrumah concepts, and then make it more palatable for the ear to hear. So that's used through the arts and the sciences. So the cultural festivals, the music, the drumming, all of that alchemy together is how you put all of those elements together. So if you just, for instance, look at the first festival, the elder who poured the first libation at the first festival is now an ancestor. He made transition not too much longer after being at that festival. So we got to see a living cultural motif when we are pouring names, pouring libation and invoking our ancestors' name. Now he's like a patron ancestral connection to the festival. You see what I'm saying? So we went to seeing him physically, to honoring him in our tradition in regards to celebration, opening up the festival. And then we got the Panther Cubs. The Panther Cubs, they normally come in poster colors. So if you've seen the first, festival, you've seen the Panther Cubs come in with our flag, the red, black, and green flag, and they post the colors. You see what I'm saying? So there were scouts, the new African Panthers, those young ones, our future generation, to show you that hope is not lost. And just like elders and youth are supposed to be together, we created an ancestral space, and then we put together, our elders and our youth and everybody in between in the space. So, that was his vision, to bring all of the talented, brothers and sisters together in one space. So people from all across the United States, and some people from, other places in the diaspora, all the way to the mother continent. You know what I mean? So that same Pan-African model, that an ideology into practicality, into a life space with a cultural celebration. You know what I mean? So, that was his science behind putting this all together. And like I said, I know he's going to fill in the other gaps, but I'm just laying a little groundwork in regards to what was the reason for the festival in the first place. So it took a lot of organizing, a lot of back and forth, a lot of meetings, getting these things together, and then, pushing it in a way that was palatable and possible. So it was a large turnout that first year. I think it was about 30 artists. There was space for performers, for poets, all kinds of people out there. And then, creating a stage in the space with that, from that first cultural interaction. And we was out there till like damn near 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. You understand what I'm saying? Like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning out there, doing what we needed to do. So that was a beautiful thing. And one of the highest honors, I would say, in that space was, we use the term Black Power, but our elder who coined the phrase, you see what I'm saying? Baba Mukasa came out there and gave us the science on Black Power from his perspective. You see what I'm saying? From his life's work. So there's a lot of stuff out here where we get very philosophical without any actual physical implementation. But to know that we get pulled in all these different directions and all of this stuff, it's great to know, especially when we see our elders and they still hard line. They ain't get religion on us. They ain't get spooked out. And I was young, and as we seen with some of these folks, like, oh, that was a long time ago and all that. Baba Mukasa still going strong. So that's a beautiful culminating spot. As a matter of fact, if y'all remember, for those who were there, the lights that went off on the whole block. All of the lights that went off. We were the only entity on the block that still had power, because they was all around in all of other places throughout the day telling us that Black Power was dead and Black Power don't work.
Yeah.
So the lights went off. They didn't have any power. All of those places with the people who was talking about black power was dead. They didn't have no fucking power because they cut the power off on the street on purpose. And we were still going. So everybody who didn't have any power was like, what's the noise that's going on outside? Oh shit, it's a festival. So everybody still converged on that location, and they converged on the location where it's dark out there, but we still got power. And when Bob Mukasa got finished, like it was rehearsed. You understand what I'm saying? When Bob Mukasa got finished, he was like, long live the revolution, long live Africa, black power. The fucking lights came back on. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it was like a magic show he was watching. You see what I'm saying? But that high power in regards to, what we see and to what we see when we really are intentional about who we are and what we do, it becomes something, powerful to see. You see what I'm saying? And that's the first festival. And then if y'all look at the second festival, from one to the next one, it just continued to go and continue to evolve. And with the second festival, we were able to bring in some of the artists that people know, and then more of a local focus. You see what I'm saying? So it became about the political prisoners, because if y'all remember, Tut was locked up. You see what I'm saying? During their other parts of the following year. So, it was an effort to get him out. You see what I'm saying? So we got to focus on political prisoners, and Tut becomes another fucking political prisoner during the process. You see what I'm saying? So you start to look at that and then push it out. And, y'all heard Son the Great song, you see what I'm saying, the Mike Chambers song, to where these songs that became, rallying cries around our brothers and sisters that are political prisoners. You see what I'm saying? And so the chief organizer, the chief visionary in that process becomes a political prisoner. You see what I'm saying? And is kidnapped and held behind enemy lines, and he's just free. But then look at how many different, political prisoners through our efforts and work as a collective have been free since that time. You see what I'm saying? So, you hear Son's song, the call for your law. You see what I'm saying? So if we get that, we get Kamal Siddiqui, we get H-Rat Brown, you see what I'm saying? So we get Baba Mukasa. All of these things, they go from people to ideas, and then from ideas back to people. You see what I'm saying? So they go from people. Like, I see Black Power banging right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, that brother go hard in the paint. So I create a song about Black Power banging and his movement and what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? It goes out from the person to the idea that we need to be banging Black Power and banging on motherfuckers who standing against Black Power. It's simple. You see what I'm saying? And then it goes back to people, because it reaches people that's going to implement that idea. You see what I'm saying? So you go from a person to an idea, and then from an idea to people who want to implement the idea. So that's what Fred Hankenstein was talking about. He said you can lock up freedom fighters, but you can't lock up freedom fighters. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill revolution. You see what I'm saying? Even though it might look a little funny, it might look a little different, it's still there. Honorable Marcus Garvey said, you might get the lion, but I left many cubs in the bush. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things go from people to ideas, and then from ideas back to people, because people carry out ideas. Just like people spark ideas. They come from that space of divine intelligence, and they go from that divine intelligence into the implementation in a proper form that people can carry out. You see what I'm saying? So when Baba Mukasa says, we want Black Power, we need Black Power, you understand? And the people begin to chant and shout and create that rallying cry. Now it's time to say, okay, we need to define and defend this Black Power. How do we take it from something just espousing out of our mouth into proper implementation strategy where we can build an empire and destroy any motherfucker who step to? You see what I'm saying? That's the other part. You know what I'm saying? So there's these are cultural spaces where these things can happen. You can witness these things from your eyes, because they'll tell you, based on the virtual space, that we don't get along together. You understand what I'm saying? We can't be in the same place. You know, they say, well, you can't have too many niggas together. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something, blah, blah, blah. These physical spaces defy the virtual manufactured space that exists. Now, are there instances that we can't be in the same spot? Yes. But that means that somebody's on the wrong side of whatever the fuck is going on. We're not just out here just to be out here. Somebody in violation. That's going to be a problem anyway. You see what I'm saying? So if you're in violation, there's something that got to happen. You know what I mean? So we create those spaces where we got a culminating force between Black people, the Black man, Black woman, Black child, all together, where you can see those ideas that defy these negative implementations that are pushed out here and mass produced by the improper propaganda campaign. So that was from one cultural observance with the first festival to the second. You see what I'm saying? And now we're coming on this understanding journey. You see, we started off with the knowledge, we went to the wisdom, now we had the understanding. You see what I'm saying? We had this understanding that what needs to be understood in that space is we have to have a repatriation, like Malcolm was speaking about a cultural renewal and a cultural reconnection to, you know, our mother continent on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Our mother continent on the planet. So recreating and reestablishing a symbiotic relationship to the cultural narratives that made us great. This is why understanding is the best part. You see what I'm saying? This is why this is the best part. So this push back toward an ideology where we learned our lessons, and those lessons became blessings. And now we're putting together implementation strategies to realign with those righteous ones who are here doing their work. You see what I'm saying? Realigning not just from a philosophical space, because we can't be comfortable just espousing shit. You see what I'm saying? For espousing the sake, like, yeah, it sounds good. You know what I mean? You know, the OGs on here ain't for all that. It sounds good. You see what I'm saying? It ain't for all that. You got to show and prove. We always came from a space where we had to show and prove. So that cultural space, if you say you were whoever or whatever, or you from wherever or whatever, you had to demonstrate. Yep. You understand? You had to demonstrate. There was some sort of examination that went along with what you said you were or who you said you are. So back to that, you know, space and guidance, this is what it is. So if you know something, how can you prove it? You see what I'm saying? You show and prove. You know, they tell our children show and tell. We don't come from show and tell. We come from show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, our mamas and our OGs would be like, I can show you better than I can tell you. You understand? And that's a warning for your act. Because what comes next is the penalty, and the penalty is severe. You know what I'm saying? You know, Master Killer said, proceed with caution as you enter the symphony. Degrees in punishment increase intensely. You see what I'm saying? So what you say you know, along with that becomes a situation to where you are held accountable and the penalties are severe. You see what I'm saying? So we with this third annual RBG Music Festival, and we got, you know, some of those great minds coming back again. You know, the flyer can't really do it justice, even though it's a great flyer. You know, you just got to be there in order to see who's actually going to be there, because there's a bunch of people. You see what I'm saying? Just imagine if they tried to put 35 people on their flyer like we had come out the first year. You see what I'm saying? Or the 25 people the next year. You see what I'm saying? So there's some folks that are there, you know, that come out, and it's always something groundbreaking or something unforgettable from one festival to the next. You see what I'm saying? So I get the blessing and the honor and the responsibility of being the host. You know, I host the first year, host the second year, you know, hosting the understanding year. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to allow the, you know, the chief visionary and the lead organizer to do what he needed to do. Because one of the things that I learned from the first event and the second event was, if you the talent, you have to be the talent. But if you the lead organizer, you have to take care of the things, and you can't be running back and forth to the stage. You got hosts. You see what I'm saying? So myself and Venom are hosting. You see what I'm saying? You got the DJ in there doing everything that needs to do. So we're responsible for the crowd and everything. But all of those intangibles that we don't see that come along with running events, the one who the best knower is supposed to be there. So you can't be on the microphone and telling people to move their car and all this other stuff. You got to be like on, whatever thing that you could perceive to be a problem, and let everybody else do the job that they needed to do. So, he was the reason why we had lights, because if he ain't think about the generator and the gas and all that stuff, you see what I'm saying? When they lights went out, our lights would have been out way before that. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have the best knower when the ones in the lay of the land to be able to do what they need to do, in them spaces. So we got a great lineup of talented artists, brilliant Africans converging on this location. We got the best vendors in the universe. You see what I'm saying? So we got the cultural marketplace out there all together. So for those who are proponents of, cooperative economics, we got that. So for the folks who want to come hear some good music, we got that. For the folks who they just African addicted, they just love Africans. I just want to be around, African people. We got that. You see what I'm saying? So those who want to celebrate, those who want to turn the fuck up, because hey, we got that too. We got that all weekend actually. You see what I'm saying? Saturday and Sunday, we got that all weekend. So commemorative, groundbreaking milestones is happening all weekend. So if that's what you're looking for, then it begins on Saturday. You see what I'm saying? Saturday afternoon to Saturday night. You see what I'm saying? And then if you need a little time to get it together, you had a little bit too much celebration. You understand what I'm saying? You had a little bit too much celebration. The next day we starting, from 3 to 8 p.m. You see what I'm saying? So we got all of these spaces together for African people to come together and celebrate and network and build and strategize and plan and plot. You see what I'm saying? We be so distracted by our devices, we become devices to one another.
Right.
We can't even enjoy each other's company and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like phones here, this, that. Nah, man, like we see each other as truly love. We ain't faking. You see what I'm saying? We see each other, and the ones we don't fuck with, that's a parent also. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's a parent. It is what it is. So for those who got it together, they got it so good, man. I'm telling you, y'all got it so good, man. Y'all got a black circle. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got a black circle. Like that's literally, y'all created a black circle, 360 degrees of accountability, love, and responsibility. And that's, a thing that folks be trying to infiltrate. And then some folks be trying to duplicate it. They ain't got it. You see what I'm saying? Because they wasn't there when the circle was built. You see what I'm saying? So you trying to figure stuff out on the fly. You're like, oh, such and such is going to flake this, flake that. Nah, like the core circle got to be tight. Because that circle turned into a square with one. All you do is add one little stroke to go from a circle to a square. You see what I'm saying? So these are necessary components and vital for building. If we talk a nation building, if we about the business of nation building, that it takes business. So we got to be industrious with everybody doing their part in regards to, putting these things together in a way that lead to other things. We should have about 10 events leading up to this event. And at every event, we promoting what's coming next and who's coming next and how it's coming next. And then we got 20 platforms together that build that coalition that's doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? So I think one of the things that we should consider in implementing is building up a strong coalition. So when we do have, events and we do got things going on, we know exactly where to hit to go do what we need to do. And the same way for our businesses, we got brothers and sisters that's in business, You understand what I'm saying? They need to be able to hit all of the spots, boom, and it reverberates. Because we African, and the last time I checked, Africans deal with call and response. You understand what I'm saying? So what's the appropriate response? It ain't whispering and reacting. You know what I'm saying? That's sucker shit. Suckers whisper and then they react like, oh man, the first thing they want to do is pull out their phone. You understand what I'm saying? That's a reaction. That's something, they let you do that. They let you watch some shit going on. They call it a remix. They let you watch some shit going on. You just reacting to it like, oh man, y'all see that? You see what I'm saying? That's sucker shit. They're training you to be a sucker and giving you props for it. They got a paycheck for you if you do it right. You remix it enough and do all the reels and all that reaction. It's nothing real about that. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing real about that except for the effect that it has on you in your mind map. You make it real. Like in the Matrix, they say your mind makes it real. So that's, where we're coming from in regards to, the festival in a nutshell. And I was rocking for a little while, so let me shut my mouth. Let me see if
Nah, you're gonna keep talking. I wanted to.
Yeah, you in rare form.
I want to ask, how do you guys choose which artists to invite to this event?
That's an excellent question. The beautiful thing about it is most of the artists choose themselves. So we kind of look over the years, and just like in the realm of entrepreneurialism, you go on your warm market first. You see what I'm saying? You go to those brothers and sisters that got, you got a good relationship with, but then you also take into account their particular politics. You see what I'm saying? We got some good folks out there, some talented folks out there, but y'all know, like I know, some of them on some straight up bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? So they might be talented, they might have the best whatever, might be able to do the best whatever, but for what you're building, what you're bringing out to the people, they be like, oh, they let this motherfucker, like, they let this. So that's something that could be detrimental. You see what I'm saying? So like I was saying with the Black Circle analogy, everybody ain't allowed. Just black ain't enough. You understand what I'm saying? You got certain requirements, you got certain standards. Just being black ain't gonna get you in the circle. You understand what I'm saying? Because we know historically they send black people to infiltrate circles and destroy them. You see what I'm saying? So these are all things that we have to take into account. Your spiritual acumen, all of these things in regards to what you say, because we know a bunch of rappers, and that's just rap. That's exactly what it is. It ain't in their lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these things go into account in regards to that stringent process, and we be arguing back and forth. If y'all want to know what that shit is, it's a bunch of arguing back and forth, like, man, fuck, blah, 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 and then flushing it out. You see what I'm saying? And then in the end, we come to a resolution in regards to what it is. Because you look at the hours in the day, you look at that communicative process, what's necessary, because you see something that looks like a well-oiled machine, but y'all got platforms, y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? The finished product look great, but they don't know nothing about the hiccups and the delays, and people can't get on, and if they get on, you can't hear them, and all that. You got to post-production make all that look great. You see what I'm saying? So we look like the Temptations on the stage. You see what I'm saying? We got the shoot up and everybody doing all the right moves at all the right time. But in essence of it, in the midst of it, behind the scenes, shit. You know what it is. So, so we just know what that is. So, back to the essence of the question, it's a process, a vetting process, and a constant vetting process. You see what I'm saying? Just because you on the list or you on the flyer, shit, you could get up there, the day before and do some bullshit. Like, now you can't touch this microphone. You understand what I'm saying? You can't touch this microphone. Oh, you said some hot shot. Yeah, you bugging. All right, yeah, my man. Oh, all right, sis, nah. That's not happening, because we only get one chance with our people. We actually only get a half a chance. because the other half is already the bias. Like, what these niggas finna do, blah, blah. You got to go through all of that already. So you got to disarm that in the space. You got to disarm that in the space and then, put the right alchemy out there that's welcoming and that's loving, but also it's a protective fashion. You see what I'm saying? Like, so with our festivals, you protect it. You see what I'm saying? Not just spiritually protected, you physically protected in that space. You see what I'm saying? You go in the spot, you see what's going on. You see what I mean? Like, you're not just in there like, hey, yeah, my shea brother gonna protect me. Nah, motherfucker, like, there's some things up in there, that's a deterrent for, the agitation, the physical agitation. You know what I mean? So we ain't out there with slingshots and rubber bands and shit. You understand? You can get popped though. You understand? So just knowing that that's a mini subset of the society you're looking to build, where there's standards, where there's spaces of accountability, and there is, consequences for your actions. You know what I mean? So that's where we at in regards to that, and it just translates on different levels. In regards to the artists, in regards to the vendors, in regards to the speakers, in regards to whatever is going on. I could be on some foul shit, and y'all be like, man, fuck knowledge, man, get out of here, man. I need that same accountability. And ain't gonna be like, well, that's a good brother. He did all of this great work. Fuck that. As soon as I'm in violation, I need to get the fuck up out of there.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's how you know you got a society who come together for one common cause. And you ain't bigger than the cause. You see what I'm saying? Shaka Zulu was one of the greatest kings and military rulers ever. He said, no babies will be born for a year. The sister said he got to get up out of here. He ain't say, I'm the king. And he was like, oh, yo, these crackers is coming. I can fight with y'all. They're like, nah. He like, all right. He submitted. You see
and one thing on Shaka, not to cut your wisdom, like you said, goes back to your earlier point. You wasn't born a Zulu. You had to go through a ritual to become a Zulu. You feel me? So it took more than just being related.
That's a real thing. Yeah, black don't get you in this circle, man. You understand? Your merit, your merit. You gotta see evidence in your work, man. Show and prove.
That's a fact. Your scars gotta be old. So now, a few more questions about the event before we...
I like that one, Rebel.
Yes, sir. All right. When it comes to Black Power music, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of platforms and outlets for it. What made y'all want to touch on the true Black Power music? It's not just like Talib Kweli conscious. It's like triple conscious, right? What made y'all want to touch the hardest music made? The truest music made?
I think Wise Intelligent was speaking somewhere at one of those spots in regards to hip hop, and he was talking about how conscious music is received and honored and supported outside of the continent of the United States because it becomes rebel music. You see what I'm saying? This Rebel Vision TV. You see what I'm saying? This is where the rebels is at. We're not looking rebellious. You understand what I'm saying? They could put on props and costumes and all that. It could look a certain kind of way. They got the special effects to make it look like you could watch a movie and you think they really killing somebody and they ain't killing nobody. You see what I'm saying? So that's as far as that protective line would go. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So there's some folks that folks might love. They be like, oh man, they be spitting and they conscious like, nah, we got implementation strategies in the music that's reflective of the implementation strategies of folks that live in real life. You see what I'm saying? So this ain't no costume. You see what I'm saying? We ain't put the dashiki on and then when they say cut, we take the motherfucker off and we go about our business. You see what I'm saying? This is our business. This is Kewado's business. This is Nala's business. This is Black Power. Bangers business. This is Rebels business. You see what I'm saying? This is Knowledge Born Alive's business. This is our lifestyle. So that music had to be reflective of the lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Because I can have a moment where, you know, I could put on a beret and some black videos and shit and make it look like it's fucking Halloween until you get pressed about it. Until some shit happens and you got to do something. Then what you going to do? I can have a whole bunch of guns in the video and shit and it look good. And then somebody flip on the pebble, then it's fracture shot. It ain't, you see what I'm saying? So all of the stuff that might look good ain't necessarily good. So you put those things together on the scale and see who's gonna be able to do what. And then what you're doing, if y'all remember, I'm gonna get the sucker, you need the theme music. You see what I'm saying? You need the theme music. So the rebels in Africa, the rebels in South and Central America, the rebels in Australia, the rebels need the rebel music. You see what I'm saying? The rebels need the rebel music. So wherever we are, how we live, that's our implementation of proper propaganda campaign. And there was no way in the hell, all of that other stuff was ever going to outshine or get the kind of love that our cultural music and true implementation of our cultural narrative was going to get any play and love over some sucker who might tell you that they black today and then don't call me black tomorrow, or they might be telling you, you know, James or Hoover and King James is black or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? We don't need all of that misinformation mixed together with all that. You see what I'm saying? We blacks out banging on against all that bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where our artists and those who have sacrificed, because they don't have to do the music that they're doing. And the brothers and sisters who write in the book, you know what I'm saying? Ken and Knowledge and Rebel Dude, the ones who are making the cultural wardrobe, our cultural apparel, they could be making anything. You understand what I'm saying? They could be making anything and making $1 billion. They love us enough to create a wardrobe that reflects a cultural, ancient, gathering or Sankofa effect from the past to the present to the future. You see what I'm saying? So the same with the music. When you listen to the music, just like if you was listening to Dr. Tyler speak or Bobby Malcolm or one of our greats, they sound every time, no matter what time you hear it in, they're talking about now. You see what I'm saying? That's the power from whatever time and season that they were in on the planet. It sounded like they talking about yesterday. So if we wanted to know what was going on or what's going on, all we had to do was look back to look forward. That's that saying, go back and get it. You see what I'm saying? Go back and fetch it. So we can move forward with it. You see what I'm saying? So when we're adorning these things, when we are adorning, our proper wardrobe, when we are adorning our cultural narrative, when we're participating in our spiritual ceremonies and things like that, we're giving honor and credence to those on that land. We out there in Georgia, you understand what I'm saying? Where our ancestors sojourned through that spot and they took our enemies out. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things all together are things in regards to how we keep and preserve our culture properly, because we got old scars, like you said, Rebel. We ain't got new scars. We might got some new scars on top of the old scars, but the old scars is still there. You see what I'm saying? We fought and we bled and we sacrificed for who we are, not for who we appear to be. And we don't want that confusion out there. You see what I'm saying? The colors of my flag is red, black, and green. Ain't no other colors in it.
It ain't no yellow?
Nah, ain't no yellow, ain't no pink, ain't none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It's red, it's black, and it's green. You see what I'm saying?
Black and green, goddamn.
That's it. So 102 years long, strong. You see what I'm saying? And continuing on. So that's the identity. You see what I'm saying? I got a universal flag too. You see what I'm saying? Got a universal flag. You know that. So all of these significances in regard to our cultural, context is the reason why you gravitate towards that kind of music. So if I was one of them church folk, I'll be looking for the baddest gospel. You see what I'm saying? I'll be looking for the baddest gospel. You know what I mean? So I'll be out there with the brother who had the song Never Would Have Made It. You understand what I'm saying? Or some, Mahalia Jackson or whoever, did it like that. I wouldn't be out there with God's property as them. You see what I'm saying? That's an adaptation. You know what I mean? So I'm back to, where, what I heard moved me to do a certain kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? That old time religion, like Malcolm said. You see what I'm saying? And if it was good enough for Abraham, it's good enough for me. What he said. You know what I mean? So what it was before it got co-opted, before it got intercepted, before it got distorted, before it got mixed and tampered with and diluted. You see what I'm saying? It's diluted over here. It ain't diluted over here. That's what I heard anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's diluted. It ain't diluted. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you've been going really hard, man. You've been, growth, effectiveness, development, manifestation, ideas of our existence, ideal of more creativity, more substance, and taking a more cultural stand. Yep, that's what we need, doctor. That's what we need.
I say.
Yeah, so that's Saturday, Sunday, hopefully y'all can make it through on Sunday as well. Like
Yeah,
I
tell
said,
us about Sunday night, you born Allah. What's going on Sunday?
our first physical commemoration, all of the celebrations in regards to the years of Dunanas Radio have been virtual, so every year, and nobody call me up and be like, hey man, you know what now, man? You've been doing some serious work, man. We're gonna celebrate you. That shit ain't happened yet. You understand what I'm saying? Unless it was Ken or Knowledge or Rebel or Black Power Bank, they'll call me up and say, hey man, we need you to come host or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Or hey, come on the platform and talk about what you're doing. That's celebration. You see what I'm saying? There were some awards that came from my peer group, but as far as us celebrating, reaching a milestone, every year, doing something consistent, spending money. I spent about $20,000 to, over the years to sustain and give Juveniles Radio, not to everybody, because everybody don't qualify. Just like over here, everybody ain't a rebel. You see what I'm saying? Some of these folks run from rebels or run to rebels, but they ain't rebels. You understand what I'm saying? So Juveniles Radio exists in that same space, it's for us. We got the foo-foo, we ain't got the for us bias. You see what I'm saying? We got the foo-foo, not the foo-boo. You see what I'm saying? Because they sold foo-foo. We ain't selling that foo-foo over here. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be for us only, always and forever. You know what I mean? So that, comes with a set of conditions, and with each milestone, from the first episode to the 100 to 500 to 800 to 1,000 to now 3,000. You know what I'm saying? From 1K to 2K to 3K. So 3,000 episodes and counting in 7 years. So the work, 8 years worth of work and 6 years man hours time. That's what 3,000 episodes and counting is. So it's enough episodes for you to listen to one episode each day for the next 8 years. In 7 years time frame, but 6 years man hours time. Because not every single day, we were on. So we're commemorating that in an interview celebration type of style in that sacred place. Omanala Riyadh Museum would be there all weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like Sunday Greats, they all strong and would be over there. You see what I'm saying? So, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, we coming out there, we doing some spotlights. I share more intimate spaces. We're doing a live taping over there. So if you come through there, you know what I mean, and you get the spotlight interview, you know, you're gonna be a part of this, you know, documentary that we're doing in regards to doing our radio, because I owe y'all some books, you know what I'm saying? So we got the visuals that's gonna accompany the book. So this is gonna be one of the groundbreaking, you know, spots that's gonna be included in the documentary. You see what I'm saying? In the documentary anyway. You see what I'm saying? So we got some folks that's gonna come and get recognized, you know what I'm saying, for their dedication, because we got a real bad habit. We got to, you know, that might be the African American in us, where we start to celebrate folks after we don't see them no more and shit. I know we ain't African American, you know what I'm saying, but you know, that might be some of the African American training. You know what I'm saying? We'll cry at your funeral, but won't shake your hand and like, you know what I mean? So, you know, that has a place, but we could do a little better. So these cultural spaces that we come together, we commemorate, we honor, and we celebrate. Like Mama Kwete, you see what I'm saying? She's being honored on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all know about Pan-African Connection out there in Dallas, you know, that Queen Mother, you see what I'm saying? That warrior Queen Mother spirit right there in physical form, she's gonna be honored, she's gonna be celebrated out there. You see what I'm saying? So we just carrying the tradition forward. You know, we carrying the tradition forward and continuing in that space. So for those who in whatever spaces of significance they are, you come out on Sunday, you were part of another living part of history. You know, it's good to read history. You see what I'm saying? But it's incumbent upon you after reading that history to be living history. You see what I'm saying? What's going to be said about you? You see what I'm saying? We can speak about the Honorable Marcus Josiah Garvey. What's going to be said about you? What's the legacy you going to leave? How you going to be remembered? You know, when they call your name, is it going to be discussed or is it going to be discussed? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if they're going to be repudiating your name, like, you know, some of these rats and snakes and snitches and cowards and punks that we be having out here, you see what I'm saying? Are you going to be the Judas or the Black Messiah when they call you that? You see what I'm saying? So that's on you and how you live and what you implement. So that's that's what Sunday is about. You see what I'm saying? From 3 to 8, you're going to be out there, a part of that legacy, you know, a part of that history. You see what I'm saying? We're going to have that together, and it's going to be a part of what we're doing going forward. So it's going to be a beautiful experience. You know what I mean? So it don't cost you nothing to come out there. You see what I'm saying? It don't cost you nothing. You know, we'll take something from you if you got something to give, but it don't cost you nothing to come out there. You see what I'm saying? Unless you try and vend out there, it might cost you a little something. I don't know what the Black Power couple say what the price is. You know what I'm saying? You give it to Shelly and Ken, they're the wise ones with that. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna cost me to be there, but it ain't gonna cost you to come there. See what I'm saying? So
Shit, he been putting the word out, brother.
yeah, so yeah, that's a part of that experience. You know what I'm saying? So that's Sunday, you know, from 3 to 8. You know what I mean? African time. So we're gonna be on time, African time. You see what I'm saying? Colored people lying still. You see what I'm saying? They'll be like, CPT, that's colored people's time. We know who the colored man is for real. You understand what I'm saying? So colored people, colored beast time. That's the time they be on. You know what I'm saying? They somewhere lying and stealing right now. We over here reveling. They go so over there lying and stealing and killing right now. You see what I'm saying? So you know, that's our, you know, our stronger celebration.
Let's do a speed round. Everybody get a question for knowledge.
I got a question for you, Knowledge.
Appreciate the knowledge.
Real simple. Real simple. What gave you the ultimate courage to start your radio station?
He said, real simple. You see how you go? That's why that's my big brother. He gave me permission to use his name. You know what I'm saying?
No, I did.
He did in real life, one way or another. See what I'm saying? But ultimately, my show is dedicated to my mother and my father. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And those in my family who, and those unsungs in all of our families whose story needed to be told. You see what I'm saying? So it was incumbent upon me, from my mother and my father, my ancestors and my family, to be able to create a space that celebrates Black people, that celebrates African people. You see what I'm saying? Our ancestors, our elders, our peer group, and our, you know, that's the short answer. The long answer is in the books. You see what I'm saying? That I'm writing about the, you know, the platform. So we needed a space from a cultural lens that celebrates African people. You see what I'm saying? So those things over the years have morphed into things I could never even imagine with, day one. You know what I'm saying? So 3,000 episodes later, we still celebrate. You know what I mean? Like that's my job. That's my task. One of them, maybe, you know what I'm saying? To wake up and find some African people to celebrate, some African events to promote, some African music. You see what I'm saying? To put out there. Some African entrepreneurs to celebrate, some African ideas, all of that greatness to celebrate. You see what I'm saying? And some devils to fucking destroy. You know what I mean? That's the real damn thing. So I don't want to get that shit twisted. You know what I'm saying? Some devils advocates to destroy, some devil rats to destroy, all that. They can expose them. Exposing don't do shit. Exposing saying that's a roach right there. You can stop the fuck out of that goddamn roach. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing. So, all of that's together in that space. And why one of the motivations behind dealing with Duty Knowledge Radio. Like I said, I think on the previous show, I was saying about the clean glass, dirty glass ideology that we took from that X movement. It's only one glass. You see what I'm saying? It ain't a clean glass, dirty glass. It's a dirty glass that needs to get cleaned. There's a dirty glass that you've seen that look putrid and, it's wretched in your eyes. You pick that motherfucker up and you get to cleaning it. You see what I'm saying? You get to clean it from the inside out. And then when you look at it in its pristine state, you'll remember, because it might still be a little bit of embers. You see what I'm saying? Like Rebel was saying about them old scars, that something had took place to it. You see what I'm saying? But you see it in its pristine form, you almost forget that it was in the future state. So with our narrative, with our people, with our family, it might look bleak, it might look future. You might be like, man, these motherfuckers ain't never gonna get it. But once you start grabbing the whole tool and busting them studs and putting that elbow grease in there, and you patient, you see what I'm saying? You focus and you determine that clean glass, that dirty glass becomes a clean glass. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you wouldn't have got a new glass? No. This is that glass that you seen that look, wretched. This is how we got the Universal Negro Improvement Association, African Communities League. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's there because, the Honorable Marcus Desire Garvey, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, so many others seen us in the future state and was not content with what they seen. Harriet Tubman was free, but she wasn't content with that. She didn't even know how to. She's like, yo, man, my family's still going through it. Fuck that. There's no way in the world. You see what I'm saying? So with all of the spaces that are out here that are being exploited and capitalizing on African suffering, Duty Knowledge Radio had to be one of those ones that will come from amongst to be able to light a path. You see what I'm saying? To show that the moths grow on the north side of the tree. You know what I mean? So we could have a place where the rebels is. So we could have a thorough black talk. You see what I'm saying? So we could have so many of those ones that's righteous, that's coming after, and those ones that are continuing to emerge. You see what I'm saying? Rebels Discussion Radio. You see what I'm saying? Like all of these ones together. You see what I'm saying? That are out here working. The Hardcore Correspondent Podcast. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody's doing what they're doing in that space. So, we took the unpopular route. You see what I'm saying? First and suffer through whatever needed to be suffered through, so y'all ain't got to suffer through. You see what I'm saying? So, and every movement has a propaganda tool to get their message out, whether it's a newspaper or some kind of radio program. You see what I'm saying? So we was over there in Vietnam, brothers over there in Vietnam, and they had the radio, thanks to our brother that came with the book, Negroes with guns, what's his name? Fred. What's his name? Negroes with guns. Fred and Mabel Williams, they were over there. So this is how they had the whole thing with Charlie saying, black man, soul brother, go home, it's not your war. So they were over there implementing that strategy. This is how Asada was able, and so many others were able to go to Cuba because Fred and Mabel Williams was in Cuba. You see what I'm saying? So, that whole instance with Ho Chi Minh was meeting with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. So from Central America to Asia, because in Asia is where Kwame Nkrumah was after he was defected from the Gold Coast. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things have a connecting significance in regards to how we're seen around the world because we have a connection to the particular landmass all the way to the mother continent. So we got a story that goes all around, and these are stories that need to be told. So who's gonna tell us? The warriors or the suckers, the rebels or the rats. You understand what I'm saying? Because the rats gonna tell us for 30 pieces of silver. You understand what I'm saying? The warriors gonna tell it, but if the warriors got to tell it, who doing the protecting? You see what I'm saying? Because if the rebels got to come to the table, then the door might be compromised. You know what I mean? So that was as short as I can get the answer. You know what I mean? Y'all have to read the book. I'm gonna have one of these Bob Rudy books where like this, so you have to read that. Read one of them books, man. See what's going on.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna get off here, man. I gotta prepare for a flight. But y'all stay
I got a
cool.
question.
Stay cool and peace and love to all of y'all. Peace and power, man.
Peace and love,
Have
bro.
a safe trip, brother.
All right.
So my question would be, I hear all this talk about music. Where the studios at?
You said where the studio's at and you in Atlanta?
What's happening?
You ain't
Man,
got-
yeah. How can
Look.
I get in there? You know what I mean? Do the cabbage patch. I want to see the booth.
Hey, ask him, you shall see, man. You in the best place in the universe, man. I'm telling you. You'll see it out there. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it out there. There's a few places, folks go to make it. That stuff ain't coming out of thin air. This ain't manna. You understand?
Yeah, I call the studio the
family
gym because I ain't worked out in a long time.
Mm,
I just need to work out.
Okay.
Get my bar strong.
Yeah. Definitely. Got that. That's a good connect. You know what I'm saying? You connect with something great and some of them folk out there, Andre 360, you know what I'm saying? Some of them brothers, man. Look. I don't know where they live because they be in the studio. You see what I'm saying? I don't know where their house at. I just know I know they be in the studio. You understand what I'm saying? They be in that studio though. So yeah. For real.
Yeah, there's about 2 or 3 studios I know Andre say they be linking to. So it's about 2 or 3, the real answer.
Right.
Question, top 3 MCs in your own life ever, and then your top 3 concerts MCs.
They're the same people.
Well, give us the 3.
Well, the greatest of all time, you know what I'm saying? Like I said last time I was on here, is Ty RBG. He's the greatest of all time, forever, including everybody. You see what I'm saying? Including everybody. So Ty RBG is the greatest of all time. And then United Front is my number 1. United Front is my number 1. If you ever heard United Front and you ain't go do something, or even if you ain't having anything to do something, you thought something about something, then you can thank United Front. That's number 1. You see what I'm saying? Number 1. I told y'all my greatest lyricist of all time is Killer Priest. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all know that's what that is. You see what I'm saying? I think lyricists, I think that go in a separate category. You know what I mean? But Killer Priest is in that lyricist category. the Jizzles in that category and Master Killers in that category in regard to my top 3 lyricists. You see what I'm saying? Because there's certain things that I look for in regards to lyricists. But the Avengers is number 2 after United Front. I can't even name all them folks. You understand? Y'all know who they is though. You
The Super Friends.
There's the Super Friends when they link up.
Name all the brothers. I just caught they downloaded their CD last week.
Right. So,
Sunday Audi.
yeah.
Dope. I downloaded the RBG 360 CD joint too.
Right.
Yeah.
And then number 3 over there with them is like I'll say the Black Power Collective. You see what I'm saying? There's a Black Power Collective that's out there. Even though you might see them or other people, joints, you see what I'm saying? Like Mike Chambers and them is with the Avengers, but Mike Chambers and them got their own thing too. You see what I'm saying? So for the Black Power Collective of that kind of music, you see what I'm saying? That rebel music, that music, you see what I'm saying? Like all those aspects right there, that's a few people. You see what I'm saying? That's like a brick foundation. You see what I'm saying? That's like a beat out to God. You see what I'm saying? Like that's that's a Naturonics. That's like Keith Turner. You see what I'm saying? That's like Star. That's like Queen Heroin, Queen Kai. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a collective over there where they don't necessarily do all of the others. You see what I'm saying? But they have that Black Power spirit in regards to that collective. You see what I'm saying? They out there in the group. So I know that top 3 wasn't individuals, but hip hop began as a group. You see what I'm saying? So these are the groups that motivate and move me on a daily and consistent basis to stay focused on the task that's ahead. You see what I'm saying? Like we could go back and forth and say, these different eras and people in hip hop, but them different eras and people in hip hop ain't doing nothing for us and ain't doing nothing for us. You see what I'm saying? So when we look at in regards to, like my 3K song, if y'all heard my 3K song, you see what I'm saying? Omar Wallace from United Front, he did that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my favorite rapper of all time. You see what I'm saying? So I've been on the road with Ty RBG. I've been with his family. He's been with my family. We know what it is. You see what I'm saying? I know he lived where he rhymed about. You see what I'm saying? So these things are different. You know what I mean? Like I've been with Killer Priest. I know where he at. I know what what the process is and all that. You see what I'm saying? So these things become something. You see what I'm saying? So those ones, and then the honorable mention is Smith and Wesson. You see what I'm saying? Smith and Wesson is out there. And when you talk about duo, that's a duo. You see what I'm saying? That's a God duo right there. You see what I'm saying? Them brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like back and forth, line for line, word for word. Sometimes I heard them in the verse. You know what I'm saying? Literally, and I still see them. I've seen them write rhymes in the studio, right? Like not on their phone, notepads and shit. Balled up crumbled paper. You see what I'm saying? Looking at each other crazy as shit. You see what I'm saying? Back and forth, sleeping in the studio. And then you hear it. You know what I mean? Like I literally seen it, witnessed it with my own eyes. So that's something that's real right there. You know what I mean? That's irreplaceable. So hip hop gotta move me. Hip hop gotta be a way to move me to be further in my movement. You see what I'm saying? So when I don't feel like doing it, because I get days I don't feel like doing shit. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that'll get me up to move. You know what I mean? As a reminder, for them tough times, the tough periods when you burnt out, you burnt the wick at both ends and the middle. You understand? You burnt the wick at both ends and the damn middle, and it looked like shit falling apart. You gotta be called back into a reminder. Like
history and poetry helping our people. Hip hop.
Right.
History and poetry helping our people.
That's a good spin on it.
Ken, what you got? You got a question? I know you got something over there. You smiling and shit, man. What's up, Ken? What's up?
It's the blood. Man, switch it
It's
for
the blood.
switch it for a minute. Okay, no. Tell us the importance of supporting your 3K for 3K movement.
Superhero, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm writing Ken name down, man, on my RBG list, man. You understand what I'm saying? The 3K for 3K initiative is of vital importance to what I do when I'm not on the camera. It helps what I'm doing on the camera, but it's more vital importance to what I do when I ain't on the camera. You know, for the youth that we out here, that we got in the community, that we've been feeding for the last, 2 years or so, consistently 5 days a week. That's what that's for. You know what I mean? For the homeless that we work with. We work with, some of these motels to get them off of the street. You see what I'm saying? During these inclement weather and things like that, for the sisters that wanted out of abusive relationships. You see what I'm saying? And they need shelters and places to stay. We work with that. So all of these things, and some of the other things that I can never really get into on somebody, platform. You see what I'm saying? These are those things, long-term sustainability operations. They don't really got much to do with me other than me making it happen. You see what I'm saying? So this is what 3K, this is $3,000. This equates to $1 per episode. We raised $965 so far. This ain't for no fake school. Like I always said, this ain't for no fake school. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't for me to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ on fucking Pluto. This is something sound on the ground while you're still around. The communities that we help, that's affected. Like we all know, we all participate in community outreach. You see what I'm saying? So I came up with a number that would enable me to do what I need to do, the bare minimum number. You understand what I'm saying? Because black people and money, you see what I'm saying? So it don't always go together in that way. You see what I'm saying? So we still dealing with that initiative, and we got for the rest of this month and part of September, to make it happen. So like I said, Sunday, the day we commemorating, I would love to say that we reached that goal. You understand what I'm saying? I would love to say that we reached the goal and that we surpassed the goal, because every dollar that we get that surpasses the goal, we got a sister identified to get that, to receive that excess. You see what I'm saying? So still, again, we really only looking for what we looking for, 3K. So we raised 4K, we raised 10K. We got 3K, she got 7K. You understand what I'm saying? So in that spirit of what's real, this is really what's real, so we ain't out here with a ski mask, robbing the people. We really looking to ease some of the financial burden and responsibility that come along with, doing what we need to do for our people. So the caveat to that is the necessity of supporting Black business in that same space, because I believe that this initiative would have been reached faster if we were supporting and identifying these Black businesses to support, because Black businesses that we support, they give back. There ain't one person on the string that ain't gave to this initiative. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Directly or indirectly. You see what I'm saying? So when we think about who we support, who we spotlight, who we celebrate, when we get these monies or whatever whatever it is, we know where to go. And this is why the media aspect is important, because sometimes you don't know where to go. We don't know who got real sea moss and who got fake sea moss. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, shout out to Dr. Inky, you know what I'm saying? The American Hiller documentary is out. You see what I'm saying? He showed that whole process. He's in real life, not just from his mouth, but from the mouth of people that he done helped in life. He's in real people. You know what I'm saying? So, the necessity of supporting, these Black businesses that give back to the Black community is vital. So just like I'm saying in regards to this 3K, there's folks trying to get money together for scholarships for school, and we back at school, or some folks going back to school. There's a bunch of initiatives that are going on. You see what I'm saying? And we want to be in a position to be able to help whoever we can, wherever we can. You see what I'm saying? If they worthy and if they were qualified, we're going to be able to do what we need to do. And for those who can't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's the importance of the 2K.
Well, man, I can't say from experience, me and Shelly, I'm saying, you do support other black businesses out here. You know what I mean? I can say that you supported us. You know what I'm saying? A few times. You know what I mean?
Right?
Even just by having this on your show a few times. You know what I mean? And you did in other ways. You know what I mean?
Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like the pendulum swings back and forth. The support and love come real ways. Love is an action verb.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We can talk that shit. You know, DMX say, everybody knows you can talk all day. When it's on, what you gonna do? Walk away? You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
can talk all day, but when it's on, what you gonna do? Walk away? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, man. For real. I know what it is. So,
Right.
we gonna bring, y'all ain't gonna have to see Killer Priest and Dr. Angel. We gonna bring them to y'all.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Literally. Like not even on the platform, like in real life. On the platform, yeah, but in real life. See what I'm saying? So we're
Right.
doing something at the end of October where Dr. Angel and Killer Priest, we got that Melahop tour. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? In Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in Atlanta. We're gonna be in the spot. We coming to Rebel spot, you know what I'm saying? We come to the Kenny Ken spot. You see what I'm saying? We coming to the spots, man. You see what I'm saying? And doing it together. So that's all a part of this, you know, other things that we work with. So this is what these initiatives are. And that's the last part that I was gonna say. There are other places that we've been invited to. We just needed to be in the right position to go to those places. There's African people all over the planet, and nobody telling their story. So we a voice for the voiceless, like we say. We're gonna be in those places, getting them stories. See what I'm saying? So that's what it is, and that's the mission that we on. Yeah. Our mission ain't out of space. Our mission, because we already out of space. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Our mission on the Earth. You see what I'm saying? Our mission on planet Earth. You know what I mean? From the satellite station of Mother Africa. That's our cultural land. You see what I'm saying? And that's our, you know, spiritual motivation.
The great knowledge born of law. Peace to the God, man. Thanks for coming through, my G.
Right. Thank you
Now
for having me.
we-
I always know that my retributionary credit score is good if I'm invited over here to, you know, Rebels Roundtable, Rebel
you got
TV.
the black card.
Yeah,
You got the black card.
if my scores start dropping for too many inquiries and shit, I already know I'm delinquent on some cat. You know what I'm
Don't worry,
saying?
you on the blacklist. So
Right.
your score can't move. It can only go up. It could only go up. But now give the people your info before we get out of here, because we need to support everything you're doing. This weekend, one more time, and your
3K for 3K.
yeah.
All right, yeah, so next weekend, well, this weekend, if y'all come through the Godathon, we're having the Godathon again this weekend. You see what I'm saying? We'll be on. You know,
Okay. I'm when this weekend, what day?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, the whole weekend. So, you know, we'll be on.
I slip through again. It'll probably be late, man. You'll stay up.
I slide through. I'm free this
Yeah.
weekend. What's happening?
I send Black Power banging the link when you send it to me, man. Yeah, you know you gotta
Yeah.
cut through, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be there, you know, making it happen. And one more again, you see what I'm saying? Striving to get as close to this initiative or surpass it as possible. You see what I'm saying? We're doing what we gotta do. So we gotta be available and mindful. You see what I'm saying? Observation and participation, you know, that's the oldest, you know, move. You know what I'm saying? So that's this weekend, and the next weekend got that RBG reunification. You understand what I'm saying? We got the RBG reunification weekend coming up. You see what I'm saying? The RBG rededication. So if you need to come down and get recharged up. You see what I'm saying? You got beat in the head, inflation too bad, gas prices done got you all messed up and all that shit. And you need to come get recalibrated, get rededicated, and get RBGified. You understand what I'm saying? You need to go get RBGified. You come on out there. So that sacred,
RBG.
you see what I'm saying? That righteous black God space. You see what I'm saying? That righteous black God space. You know, Omanali 3 RBG Saturday and Sunday. You know, we got the 3rd annual RBG Music Festival. You know, from the vision of the visionary. You see what I'm saying? My brother Tutmo Sankara. You see what I'm saying? And so many other artists and performers. You know, out there. And that cultural marketplace, you know what I'm saying? Cats is coming from Wakanda to vend out there. You know what I'm saying? They're coming from Wakanda and Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? They got Wakanda and Wakanda. You see what I'm saying? The vend out there. You know, so it's gonna be a transformative experience out there. You see what I'm saying? From 12 to like 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? And then Sunday we got this commemoration, the 7th God anniversary. You know what I'm saying? The God anniversary of Dual Knowledge Radio, from 3 to 8 at the same space. And, you know, I talked to Georgia Me earlier. She said she's gonna pop out. You understand what I'm saying? So folks said they go, yeah, so it's gonna pop out. You understand what I'm saying? You know, folks is doing it. You know, I can't be in Georgia and don't have Georgia herself out here.
When she coming Sunday.
Yeah, man. She coming out there, man.
Be cool
that's
people,
real,
man.
that's real love, man. So, you know, the 3K for 3K. You can either use the Cash App, Knowledge Born Alive, or PayPal. PayPal, that means /Dual Knowledge Radio. Or we got the GoFundMe. You understand what I'm saying? We got the GoFundMe out here. I'll send y'all the link so y'all could, you know, add it to the description. But, you know, we seriously, you know, in all seriousness, we got a mission, we got a mandate, and this is a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Part of the process. And we want to be able to do what we need to do. And we're going to do what we need to do, regardless of whom and what. You understand what I'm saying? Because I come from that school, have you not heard that your word shall be, you know, bond, regardless of whom and what. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the word is bond is life, and I give my life for my word sheet. You know what I mean? So, peace to Rebels Roundtable, Rebels TV. You see what I'm saying? The Rebel Visionaries over here. I got my Rebel Visionaries up in here. You understand what I'm saying? Support this platform, support our brothers, man. You see what I'm saying? Support this movement. They got Black August resistance without having it to be Black August. You know what I'm saying? Black August resistance as a bar. That's why Black Power Bangers say you getting his bars ready. You got the bars. You see what I'm saying? Black August resistance is the bar. You know what I'm saying? So peace, love, Black Power. You know what I'm saying? Strong. Salute to the gods, man. Peace to God. In the words of Sunday Great, peace to God, war on the devil. You understand what I'm saying?
Black motherfucking power, man.
Radio.
Black power.
Let's born the law in the building.
Let's born our law.
Movement, man. Good brother, man. He made some greats. We ain't even talk about everybody he made. Humble brother, but he made some greats. He put a lot of powerful people in position, and you should be recognized for that. But you know how we get paid. The essence got to pay us, so you gonna get it in one way or another. But salute to you, brother. Much respect, man. You know we gonna support you Sunday, so we see you there, man.
All right, Black Power. Peace.
Black Power.
All right, y'all. Us.
Us.